She is in the back row up here. I haven't sent her away. She's in the back row up here. Here's the problem. There's one thing emotionally, psychologically, functionally that people don't know how to fake, don't know how to mimic, and that's empathy. All three of you talked about some very difficult and painful times in your life, and I didn't see any empathetic connection with her at all. She didn't share that pain with you. It didn't hurt her that you were hurting. Robin and I have two boys, and if either one of our boys had been hungry, abandoned, or locked out of the house and couldn't get in for even a day, I would be sick to my stomach. But she had no connection to that whatsoever. There's no empathy. And she needs serious help with that. And I would tell you to guard very closely against letting her have access to your life until she gets that kind of help, because I think she would violate it. And the truth is, not everyone you lose is a loss. Yeah. And you can't lose what you didn't have. So what do you do instead? What do you do with those feelings? And I'm going to tell you what I think you need to do when we come back. People learn about themselves by watching what they do. You've watched what you did under pressure. When the pressure was on, you manned up, you stepped up, you filled the gap for these two.
Thank you for that.
No, I'm proud of you to do it.
Thank you very much.
And you two should watch what you've done and say, you know, I've come through this, and by God, I'm still here. And I'll be damned if I will be controlled by the dysfunction of my upbringing. I will not allow that to bring me down. What I want you to do is one thing for me, and I want you to think about it. I want you to really think about forgiveness. And if you harbor bitterness and anger and animosity towards someone, it colors your heart. You can't go through life looking over your shoulder, or your past becomes your future. And I just want you to think about this. I'm going to have tips for forgiveness on my website, but let me tell you, it's not a feeling that washes over you in a wave. It is a choice. And, you know, Sonia, I'm going to get you some help.
Thank you.
And I really hope you will watch this show back. You know, I do a podcast now where I interview different people, where I don't have to solve a particular problem. I just get to talk to interesting people about interesting things. And I'm actually talking to Kathy Bates, who is my favorite actor in the whole history of the world. And it's interesting, I didn't know this about her, but she was saying, I study the Dr. Phil show. I study it to do the roles that I do in my career, and I have for 20 years. In fact, here's what she said about that.
For example, now I'm working on American Horror Story, and like I said, I'm notating my scripts. And you've talked about this with your shows, with your guests sometimes, when you say go back and see the show again or another time, because things reveal themselves to you. When you read, when you look at something, you're a different person in that moment than you were in, you know, the present.
And Sonia, that's what I want you to do. Hopefully you will see something that will awaken something in you that you can use with the help that I'm going to arrange for you.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to make help available to each one of you as well. If you need help letting go, if you need help forgiving, then I'm going to make this help available to three of you, whether you need it now, you want it later, whenever you want it. All you have to do is tell us, and we'll make it available to you like that, because you've earned it and you deserve it, and it is my honor to make it available to you.